Hello, everybody. My name is Juan Carlos Brando. Thank you so much for joining us today in this show at noon with the attorney Margaret W. Wong, who has been working on the immigration field for over 46 years. And today she's with us talking about immigration, talking about immigration cases and benefits that you could get if you file something with immigration, having your attorney help you to do this process. So let's welcome the attorney Margaret W. Wong once more time. And thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for being with us. How are you doing today?
I am very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Well, it's been interesting what is going on right now, and with all the politics and what's going on at the end of this year. And I've heard that in the southern border, there is a significant diminution of people trying to immigrate to the United States through the checkpoint or through the border patrol. So, what do you think this is the reason for this to happen right now?
Yes, I think a lot of these, we don't know if it's propaganda or whatever, because I keep hearing people say, oh, now is a good time to go to America. They're letting us in. So it could be rumors. It could be is they know we're out and everybody wants to come to America since I came in the 60s. Everybody wants to come to America for the past 50 years. There's nothing new to it, or even 60 years. But what's new is also with the Google, the speed of information. Oh my gosh, my cousin went in yesterday. Everything is good. They just have to do asylum. They already have their work permit. They have a ticket to go to New York. A free hotel. I would go too, right? And through the years, people who came undocumented or illegally, we don't get free hotel. We don't get free flights. We don't, we come and normally we go to a cousin or we go to an apartment and, a friend or something. Can I stay here for 5 days? I need to figure out where I'm going to live. So we all went through that. I went through that. I went to school and I had to go to a host family for 10 days and they came to the airport and pick us up. So we all went through the same journey, but you're right. What changed? I think it's also people are getting younger and younger. They couldn't wait in line. They also don't want to wait for their situation. Like, for example, my father has a green card. My father came 20 years ago. I want to come now instead of waiting for the 25 years from the father to file for the son. And also the world have changed. There's so many violence, so many, rapes and just very violent, horrible countries. And when people say, oh, go to America and try your luck, man, I would go too. And I know I sound really nuts, but I think in a nutshell, that's what it is. And this is really not fair for the people who have been here for a long time, waiting their chance, going to court and court getting dismissals is just difficult.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Wong.
It's okay.
Thank you so much. Well, allergies are coming our way. You already have like winter right there.
Yes.
But for us, it's more like fall, and it's starting to get a little bit cold.
And you also have a young child, and that's something. Kids are always sick.
Yeah, mine had a bad time last night, but thank God he's doing good today, and he's doing awesome. So, okay. Let's start with the questions from our audience today. We have a person from Latvia, which is a small country near Russia and Ukraine. And this person says, I moved to the United States. Is there any benefit that we can request due to what is happening in Ukraine? We
Okay,
are a very small country.
I think your real question is because Ukraine is at war, Poland may be dragged in, Latvia, you're right next to all these big, you are also the former USSR, Soviet Union. Do you get any benefits? I don't know if you're asking for free medical benefits or free visas. There's really no benefit. Latvia is a very stable, safe country. I know it's not. Um, Really, there's no benefits just because another country is at war.
Okay, yeah, and that's actually what the question was, that they are a very small country and they are neighbors of the Russia and Ukraine, and they are scared that the conflict could destroy their country too. So until that happens, you just need to wait, and hopefully, it's not gonna harm your country, but um, it could happen. But until that happens, you don't know what's gonna happen with you. Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. The phone number that you can call to talk to the attorney Margaret W. Wong is 216-279-3984. 216-279-3984. Ms. Wong, this is a question that is very frequent at the moment. A lot of people asking me this question, and I would like for you to give an answer. And it's about the TPS. What happens if I have denial on my TPS request? Will it be put in removal proceedings, or
No.
what's going to happen with me?
No, TPS denial does not put you in the proceedings. The denial, all these denials don't. Sometimes a green card of 45 denials may, but Biden is not putting people in proceedings, mostly.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And yeah, this is interesting because, well, a lot of people are applying for TPS, but some of them have removal orders. So if you have is there something that the attorneys need to do with the court to
No.
stop
No, it's two separate departments. Removal orders, court cases are run by ICE. There are three departments in Homeland Security. You have CIS, you have ICE, you have CBP. CBP controls all the customs, the airports, the land, the water, the entrance. ICE controls investigations, removals, deportations, criminal stuff. CIS controls TPS. So if you have a removal order that's controlled by ICE, removal order, that's a finality. You never appeal, you already were ordered removed, you know you're still staying here. TPS, as long as you have no criminal record, it should still be approved.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. This person, I don't know this comment. I am dopest from USA, INASC2. Do you understand that? Because I don't.
No, there's no C2. There's a 6C1. That means that it's a material misrepresentation. So, for example, I filed for my green card. I lied about my date of birth. Or a lot of ministers, priests, not lie, but they like to make themselves younger and older. It could be a 6C1 case. That means that I have material misrepresentation.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong.
I can read this. I am depend. I don't understand. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if you can rewrite the question, maybe we can have an answer for you. And I'm sorry, I don't get the question. I don't understand at all. Okay, so Ms. Wong, this comment is coming through, and this says, "Thank you, Attorney Margaret W. Wong, and your staff, especially to Rosa Cintron, for the great job that she is doing. Last Friday, I received the renewal of my work permit for 5 years. Thank you so much. Sincerely, Tomas Ordenes Calel."
Oh, that is so. I'll let her know. She's actually my right hand. She's the head of the work permit extension and work permit department. She's really very good at what she does. She's been with us also a long time, so I can depend on her. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. More questions coming in. This person says, "I am an EB5 applicant. The application was made via Hong Kong agency." I'm going to paste this question on the screen so that we can read it. And this person says, was made via Hong Kong agency in 2019. I searched the website recently and I found that the U.S. attorney, okay, I will paste it here so that we can read it on the screen. Okay, this is the question. Found that the U.S. lawyer and the company NCE responsible for the EB5 project are showing as dissolution. I contacted the Hong Kong agency and the staff who are responsible for the project have resigned. Right now, I need to find another.
Let me explain to you. There's EB5 is an interesting concept. We do a lot of EB5, but it doesn't necessarily mean you need a new lawyer yet. What is EB5? EB5, the form is called 526. I presume you're born in Hong Kong. Hong Kong EB5 is a little bit faster than China EB5 because the China and India, they're very, very backed up. Vietnam sooner or later will get backed up because a lot of Vietnamese are also applying for EB5. So basically, you filed in 2019, probably it's not approved yet. So I don't know if you need a new lawyer yet. There's two lawyers. One is the EB5 lawyer. That's the lawyer on behalf of the business. The business lawyer take control of the EB5, the regional. I don't know if you're direct invest or regional center. I assume like you're a regional center investment. So even if the lawyer dissolves, it doesn't mean the company dissolves. Lawyers, especially after COVID, a lot of us are burned out. A lot of us retired. A lot of us just don't want to work anymore. It's just a very difficult practice. I love it. I don't know why. I've Mr. Juan. I have a lot of good people working with me, so I still love my job, Rosa. So I don't necessarily think you need to find another lawyer. What you need to do is to really get hold of, and even though the agency people quit or the law firm quit, as long as the company who processed the EB5 is still there, the company should have their own people who can give you a set of your EB5 filing, the 526 filing. In there, there should be three things. The actual formation of the regional center, what state is it in? Number two, the actual EB5, the 790 pages of documents to process the whole financial, when is the balloon payment due and stuff like that. Now, the third thing that's very important is your source of funds. Now, two things may happen. They may approve it. Normally, they don't approve EB5 unless they send you a RFV, a response for additional information, or NOID. Then you need to read what the case is about, the RFV is about, or the NOID. They either ask for the source of money, then you need a EB5 lawyer to respond. But if they ask for the formation of the company and where did the money go? Where did the money come from? And where did the money go? Did you produce 10 workers? That really should come from the EB5 law firm or the EB5 regional center of people. So it depends on what they ask. Then you may want to find, because not all lawyers does EB5, especially, and that's why most EB5 situation, and I sort of feel bad for the clients, they always get lawyers situated in Hong Kong and Taiwan and India, because those people are not subject to the American processing, because American lawyers like us or American SEC, the security lawyers, they penalize people like us if I did something wrong. But if the lawyers are situated in Hong Kong and Taiwan and Japan and India and Singapore, then they would not be penalized because the Bar Association cannot control someone in Taiwan, So if you want to, I certainly would love to look at the paperwork for you and see what's going on. But all listeners, since you're listening, you need your own form. You need your own set of documents. I don't care who is your lawyer. I don't care who is your EB5 person. Whatever your lawyer did for you, get a criminal record, file EB5, file the I-140, file the I-130, file extraordinary. You should always have your own record. So when it's time to ask one lawyer for advice and that lawyer retired or quit or joined the government, then you get another lawyer. Our field is very, very emotional, very high burnout rate. A lot of people are having heart attacks, suicides. It's just a difficult practice. You never could trust anybody, I mean, of course, you can trust your parents, your spouse, and stuff, but I always believe in you should always have your own files to start with.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Don't forget, the phone number is 216-279-3984. 216-279-3984. Attorney Margaret W. Wong, with over 46 years of experience and 7 offices across the country: Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Columbus, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And the phone number is, of course, Cleveland, Ohio, which is the headquarters. And the phone number is 216-279-3984. 216-279-3984. Call now and make your appointment for the next day that Ms. Wong can take care of your questions and your case. Okay, Ms. Wong, so we have this person now. I think I understand the question a little bit more. It says, I was removed from the United States in Section 212A to AIL. 4 years ago, I have 2 kids in the United States. Can I apply for U.S. visit visa B1, B2?
So can you tell me why you were deported instead of giving me this code? Because 212 means it's exclusion, 237 means it's land deportation. So tell me, what is this A2A? Because I don't have my paperwork here, but tell me why you were deported.
Yeah, so meanwhile, this person is sending the question, what is the difference, Ms. Wong, why some people are removed from the United States? For example, in the airport, they try to come in, and some of them are just, their visas are canceled or revoked, and they are sent back.
Right.
But some of them are given a bar of 5 years. Why some get the bar and why some don't get the bar?
Right. That normally happens in the southern border. There's only 3 southern, Mexico is the only foreign country in the southern border, but the 3 states is Arizona, Texas, and Florida. So the 3 states. So normally the southern border, there's 3 ways to remove someone or deport someone. One is expeditious removal. That's when the 5-year bar. Expeditious removal means that you don't get to see the judge. You were deported after 1 month in jail, after 2 days in jail, or removed. That's expeditious removal. You can always come back the second day, and sometimes they reinstate the deportation, and they'll make it like 10 or 20-year bar. So either they can reinstate the expeditious removal, or next time, maybe they're nice to you, they gave you VR, this is voluntary return, or the catch and release. That's why when people quote these new stuff, I'm like, what? So also removal means 2 things. Either I'm actually physically went back, or I was still here, but I just have a final order of removal. So when the person asked the question, I was removed, I have 2 kids at that time. I don't know if you were actually removed, you left America and the government paid your deportation, or you actually were still here, but the judge ordered you removed and you still have a case on appeal, or you didn't do an appeal because you just want to hide and you didn't have money. So these are all things, it's actually very complicated. I try to make it easy for my listeners because I've been doing it for so long, but that's when this is a hard business or practice, because you really have to think of the answers very fast. Because people are scared. Like this morning, I had a phone conversation with an amazing company and business located in Princeton. The founder of the business actually is a Princeton professor. They do all these AI. So whatever questions I ask them, they say is company secret. I'm like, what? And then they say, oh, we have contracts with this, with that, and these are the AI. What do I know about AI? What do I know? But these are all secrets. They have like 8 patents. They have all these trademarks. But whatever you ask them, they say, we cannot discuss this because we have a contract with the Department of State. I'm like, what? But that's how America is progressing. So on the top line, you have people like that who wants to come to America for work with these businesses. On the other hand, if the people that came is more from India, from China, which are or even from Russia, these are technology. America more and more is really worried about people coming in. These people, we don't know who they are, what they do, and there's no criminal record because the world is becoming more and more AI. So the world is changing. And we really should change with it. And that's what makes the job fun, I think.
And Ms. Wong, honestly, the world is becoming scary in this thing of the AI, artificial intelligence. I've seen some videos that can make me younger or older, and they
Right.
can make my voice. They can use something that sounds exactly like my voice. So it's very, very dangerous out there right now. So uh, we just need to keep our mind knowing that somebody could be using our image and our voices to do something in the other side of the world. So that's why we need to be very careful with our social media and other medias that we can get to. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. Don't forget that you can call 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Okay, this next question is, um, hi, Mrs. Wong. I studied aviation engineering. I had TPS when I studied, and then I found a job, but they cannot give me a promotion because I don't have a green card. Can I apply for maybe OPT or until I finish my master degree and maybe get a promotion? Can I file maybe for labor certification?
I would file the labor cert now. You already have TPS. TPS is a status. So as long as you were never out of status and you got TPS, I presume you also have an F1. So absolutely use TPS, use OPT, whatever. File the perm now. You're from Venezuela, which means that you don't have to wait. If you only have a bachelor's degree, file EB3. If you have a master's, file EB2, but see what salary you are. For EB2, you need a salary maybe in the 60s or 70s. For EB3, you need in the 40s or 50s. Depends on what state you are. Definitely file perm now. Don't wait for OPT or H1B because you already have TPS. It's a great thing. For TPS, you can also do parole. So technically, don't really need a H1 or OPT. You do the perm now. OPT, I don't think Venezuela OPT will go away. OPT, perm, which is 3-step, prevailing wage, advertising, prevailing wage 7 months, advertising 3 months to 6 months, filing takes 7 months, 1.5 years. If you still have TPS, I would concurrent file the I-130, premium processing, and then do the 45, no criminal record. I think you're fine. And absolutely no criminal. I don't even think you need OPT and CPT and all those H1Bs. You have H1 and TPS, which is really a better situation. And keep studying, be smart. And aviation is a problem because 911 is created by foreign students who became pilots. So anytime you have aviation control, navigation is a problem. But you do the best you can, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And well, Muhammad is sending the other part of the question that you did. Political offense, a crime
Okay.
involving moral turpitude.
Okay, I got it. Which is a 5-year, if you're married to a citizen, is 3 years. And I presume you're still in America. Political offense. We have to be very careful, especially with the Middle East. Throwing a stone, and I learned that like 20 years ago, because I always thought, why couldn't you throw a stone? Throwing a stone for a lot of Middle Eastern people is not just a crime of mortgage. Sometimes they look at terrorism. So we have to be careful. But that's a weird offense because normally we don't people the NTA don't charge political offense. If they charge it, it's more like a persecutor. It's more like you're helping, like China, one child policy. So we'll line like 100 people out in a room and do forced abortion because it's just what nurses and doctors do. They line people up, 500 of them in one morning, and we do abortion because it's one child. So the nurses and doctors who helped them became the persecutors. So in America, so just because Hitler made me go to war, it doesn't mean that I can still get American green cards because he made me. I didn't want to do it. So itself is so maybe you're talking about perpetrator, but if it's only a CIMT, it's not that big a deal. So I don't know why so I don't know if you're ordered removed. I don't know if you filed the appeal and what circuit you are. Some circuits are better on these cases than others. Sixth Circuit is not a good circuit for this kind of cases. Six is Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, and Tennessee.
Thank you so much, Ms.
No
Wong.
problem.
A lot of experience talking to you right now. Over 46 years of experience working since 1977. Attorney Margaret W. Wong, who started with only one desk, no secretary, a small place, and now is one of the major law firms in the East, and I would say in the United States of America, with over 4,000 cases per year approved, which means those are cases, not only work permits, is more and way more than that. So if you need a good advice with a good attorney, you just need to talk to the attorney Margaret W. Wong with her experience over 46 years plus the experience of all of the attorneys that are working with her. The phone number 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. The next question is, hi Mrs. Wong, I got my DACA taken away because of a charge of marijuana. It was 10 years ago. Can I file for DACA again and get it back?
It depends on what kind of marijuana. Is it less than 30 grams? And for personal possession, because sometimes they say possession and use, then maybe it's arguable, but possession and sell is absolutely no good. Possession and distribution is no good, because in the early days, and now marijuana is like in Ohio, they're even legalizing it. We just voted in Ohio. But in the early days, they divided into distribution, sale, possession, abuse, and use, right? But nowadays, marijuana is marijuana. They don't divide it as much. There is a minor exception: marijuana less than 30 grams for personal, for possession, not use. It's okay. So it depends on what it is. Maybe get a certified judgment, enter in a copy of the transcript. In Ohio, each state have their own vacate policy. So you live in Colorado. So Colorado is legal now, but it's more as the law at that time legal. And that I'm really glad you asked this question. And I had struggled with it when it first came out. So different states now have different laws regarding legal drugs. So even though the state is legal, it's just like state had approved same-sex marriage years and years ago in DC and New York. So people go there and get married same-sex, but in immigration, you couldn't do it until the fall of DOMA, which is about 5 or 6 years ago, or 7, 8 years ago. Now we can get green cards for same-sex marriage. So just because the state make it legal doesn't mean federal government make it legal. Right now, the federal government. So it's sad because we have people who work in marijuana factories, marijuana legalized plants. Now they could not become a citizen because in the eyes of federal government, they could not work in these places. But in the eyes of the state, they're legal. So it's a problem. But I'm sorry, I need to ask you a question. So the promise, you need to get a certified judgment entry, get a certified of the transcript, maybe go back to the state and vacate the criminal case. Now you can go back to and get DACA. Because now the state law is saying it's legal.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Yeah, this is interesting, and I'm still wondering how it goes because, well, in my country, if I am arrested and paying my my sanction for some kind of felony, and then it comes a law that legalizes that, then I have to be released immediately after that law comes in. But if this is retroactive benefit for people that have been judged for some kind of crime, if that is not a crime anymore, then I need to be set free of that judgment. So it's very interesting, Ms. Wong. Thank you so much for giving us those details. And we have a last question for today. We only have 1 more minute, and it says, my wife has been waiting for her approval in the Dominican Republic. Article 30 was approved, but still waiting for interview and consular process. We filed in 2021. Is it normal that it's taking so long?
I am so sorry. Normally it takes only 9 months. So we filed in, let's assume, June of 2021. She should have been here by March of 2022 or June of 2022. because of COVID, because you started when COVID just started, in the middle. So, but it should be okay because I presume you already filed the 1-year tax return on the DS-260. I presume you're just waiting. I would send them an email. I don't know where you live. If you live in Ohio, I would go to our senator's office. J.D. Vance's office is Alan Kinker. Sherrod Brown's office have 2 wonderful people helping them. I would go to them and ask who's your immigration aide. I would write a letter, attach the receipt notice, attach all your DS-260, the IV receipt notice, show them and ask them to help you push it. Surprisingly, Dominican, Haiti is gone. I mean, it's really bad. Venezuela is bad. But Mexico, they do, American embassies, China, they do listen to senators because senators control their budget. Because that's a U.S. Department of State. Those are not Homeland Security.
Yes, and this person says that he lives in Georgia and he's a green card holder.
Oh, you only have a green card. That's different. Yeah, green card should be open because if you look at Family 2A, I just checked it, it retrogress. I think I just checked it earlier. You look at Family 2A, you need to look at Part A. I think that's in 2019. So you filed in 2021, which means a quota not open, so she cannot come. That's why I always tell people, maybe always come on a tourist visa and then file because that's a separate, because filing, you look at Part B and you could have filed, but you cannot get the green card until Part A is approved. And I'm very sorry because if you're only a green card, I'm sorry, because those are for IRs, those are immigrant visas for citizens. I don't think quota open. But if you want to check it, it's under worldwide, it's under, the Part A worldwide. So you can Google what's priority date for Family 2A for Dominican Republic. They know. Google tells you everything now. In the olden days, we have to wait for the mail to come in from Department of State. The person's name is Mr. Oppenheimer. He's still working there. I don't even know how old he is, but he's still giving seminars on how fast quota. He controls that quota.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for your time, for your answers. Our time is up for today, but thank you so much. I'm looking forward to see you next Wednesday to talk in the Spanish show and learn more from you and eventually get more questions from our audience. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong.
Thank you.
And for everybody who has joined us today, don't forget that you can call. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984, attorney Margaret W. with over 46 years of experience and 7 offices across the United States. The phone number, 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984, attorney Margaret W. Have a good lunch and see you next time.